Hello everyone,
Now watching the
my name is
Lemur.
Chance. Your guys' Professor Nick. Obviously he's from, Boston University. Shout out to your professor. But him and my good friend here that you guys know asked me to make this video for you guys. And I'm not gonna hold any punches, and I hate to say it, but in this instance, there is no room for professionalism. There's only reality.
Y'all, today we have a pretty wild video. We're going to be taking a look at Shit Pants Chance once again. And now, Cyraxx has been off the internet for a while now since his PC got bricked, but we've still seen bits and pieces of what he's been doing, mostly through Facebook. So in today's video, I plan on taking a look at some of the new stuff that Cyraxx has been up to, but also we're going to be taking a look at this older video that took place before his PC got bricked. Now this video is pretty interesting because Chance thinks that he's talking to a college class. He believes that a college professor has called upon him to give a lecture. Now in this lecture, he doesn't even tell his story. He decides to just guilt everybody and use it as an opportunity to have this whole class go against his trolls. So he thinks that he's going to be able to get a college class to agree with him, a PDF file, and then go against these people that are trying to get him off the internet. And the funny thing about this video is that it reads as though it's like a normal Cyraxx rant. It doesn't seem like he's really talking to a college class other than him saying, mind my French one time. But other than that, he lets loose and he basically just does one of his regular webcam rants. It's pretty fucking funny. It's sort of like a mini Cyraxx college arc, and I can only imagine if they took it even further and started making classes Cyraxx took, maybe made him a professor and had him like lecture a whole class more than one day, come up with lessons and shit like that. It'd be interesting what Cyraxx would do. Teach people about Music Biz Marty, the history of the Cyraxx and Music Biz Marty wars. Like, what would happen there? This one lecture, though, gives us a great idea of what Cyraxx would do if he had the opportunity of being in front of a college class, and it's completely fucking stupid. In his mind, this is his one opportunity to get his story out to intellectuals, the people that he think will actually fight for him. And instead of actually taking it serious, he treats it as though it's just another webcam rant. Before we get to any of that though, first let's talk about what Cyraxx has been doing more recently. Lately, Cyraxx has been part of this Facebook group. I'm pretty sure he's using some fake name and he's in this group. He thinks that people are actually his friends. Turns out a lot of them are just trolls and they're recording these Facebook calls, or I guess they're more like audio clips. So he sends them these voice messages and they screen record them. And most of them have just been him begging for money. The two that have been released is Cyraxx begging for $12 so he can get some kind of program, like an AI program to, I think, make like an anime. He's talking about some kind of script. He wants to make some kind of cartoon with the AI. So the other one is him asking about money too, asking why people haven't been sending it to him. He's saying that he's been dealing with these trolls and all these people in the group are supposed to be his friend, but yet they won't support him financially. Now on top of this, thanks to Goblin Records, the GOAT, who always has archive content out like immediately, we have a video of Dom and Kira. Now, if you don't know who Kira is, Kira was the woman that Cyraxx was married to. Cyraxx was engaged to, I guess is a better way to put it. He was engaged. They never got married. But, he did propose to her and he thought that they were engaged. They were in this online relationship, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, Cyraxx was really in love with this woman, or at least he thought he was. She left him for a dude named Dom, who he said was a crackhead. Well, Kira and Dom have a message for Cyraxx, and it's pretty insane. This guy starts off by asking for a car. He asks for like people to donate money to him and if they can send him a car, which is a crazy request. He seems kind of out of it, so it shows you the kind of guys that Kira goes for, but just watch these videos.
So I found this program called LTX Studio that I can actually use to create the videos I've been wanting to make. And I could actually use your guys' help. I need $12 to get started. And I'll show you guys the pricing ranges. Like, if you guys are able to help me out with this, I could pop off something insanely good that I think you guys will actually and truly enjoy and want to see come to light. Like, there's something here with this, but I'm gonna need your guys' help. Now, I'm willing to start out with the $12 one, just as like a base start. It would help me get started fully. I've already got the script started. I'm already working on the character designs and all that stuff. But I'm really and truly going to need your guys' help on this to get this project going all throughout, because I've really been working really, really hard on this script, and I think it could actually be something good. Like, I genuinely and truly 1,000% believe in this project. What I'll do is I'll finish on working on the script for the first episode. I'll send you guys everything, but I need your guys' help on this. Like, I can't make this happen alone. I'm gonna need y'all's help to make this shit happen. Because I guarantee you there is something with this. I promise y'all that. We all need to come together to figure something out, because honestly, this shit's starting to piss me off, and it's starting to drive me fucking nuts. Just sitting here not doing shit, it's starting to piss me the fuck off. Something needs to happen. Because this shit, it's fucking ridiculous what they're doing. They're making it hard as fuck for me to be able to do a goddamn thing. Like, I've had both computers destroyed, both Xboxes destroyed, and all for what? So they can sit there and fucking laugh? And the worst part is, we can't get any deliveries to our house because of them fucking with Amazon and putting a fucking flag on our goddamn house, man. Like, this shit's starting to piss me off. Something needs to fucking happen, because, like, I can't take this no more. I'm tired of just fucking sitting here not being able to do shit. Yeah, I've obviously got the stuff that I'm working on, you know, behind the scenes, but nobody sent me any money yet to try to help out with that. So I'm basically at a standstill with that right now. And me doing music is very, very, very difficult right now. Like, it is doable, but it's also very long and very hard and very difficult for me to be able to properly do anything. And honestly, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I should be doing, and what I should be doing is what I can do. And what I can do is what I should be doing. And what I should be doing is what I'm good at, which is making music, live streaming, doing live cover shows, doing live shows of my own shit. You know, building up a fucking fan base and making a living for myself. Because honestly, y'all, I'm tired of this shit. We all need to come together somehow to figure out a way around this fucking goddamn ban that they got on my house, and figure out how the hell to get me some brand new gear and make it to where they cannot stop it from fucking getting here. Because this is complete bullshit what they're doing. Something needs to happen. Because just sitting here, I'm going fucking nuts. Something needs to happen, because I can't take this no more. Something needs to happen.
Hey, just want to say, this is my current situation in a freaking hotel room with my lady. And my little man over there sleeping in the chair. I'm just trying to find a way to get my family into their own place or something like that, so I can continue looking for jobs and, you know, get a job up here in New Jersey. I'm in Seaside Heights, but I just want a fresh start, new beginning for my family. So if you can possibly help donate a car or something, I honestly don't know, just to help us get around. But there's things I would like to say. First off, Chance motherfucking Wilkins. He's a child predator, and he has literally framed people. He has done all types of shit and been making threats, you name it, everything to my son's school, and put him and his lady in danger. What? And he has threatened my son Callum and my lady Kira right here. Like, literally, Chance motherfucking Wilkins has literally threatened to them multiple times that they didn't respond in 24 hours.
Honestly, the audio clips don't really contain anything important. They're the same Cyraxx bullshit. It is pretty funny that he's begging for money. He thinks that these people are his friends, and the things that he does to them is beg for money. Like, he doesn't chill with them. He doesn't want to hang out with them. He wants to get $12 from them. He treats them as though they're like his fans, right? Why would your friends be donating money to you? But fuck all that. The most important thing that you should take away from this video is the allegations that Dom made against Cyraxx. He said that Cyraxx has threatened Kira and her son Callum on multiple occasions, has made threats to the school that Callum goes to, like some pretty insane allegations. It's hard to say how much of this is true. I don't know if Kira or Dom are very reliable narrators, especially considering Kira dated Cyraxx knowing the person that he was. It's kind of weird. Like, all of a sudden she wants to flip-flop and say that he's a bad guy while she's dating this Dom dude. And then the dude Dom opens up with talking about like needing a car and wanting donations. Now listen, I'm not trying to defend Cyraxx. I just don't know how reliable of a narrator both these people are. But hey, it's really not that hard to believe, so I'm sure Cyraxx did at least do some of this shit. Shit, I'm sure he probably did all of it, but it would be nice if we could get some solid proof, because then I could say without a shadow of a doubt that these allegations are true. But with that being said, so far these are just allegations that Dom has made towards Cyraxx. Now, Kira was there and she did say that he did this, so I don't know, they were dating. That does show that she knows more about Cyraxx than the common person, so it really doesn't make it that hard to believe her, right? Like I said though, we'll just have to wait and see until some more evidence comes out. Other than that, this is just a crazy video, nothing more. Now that we got that out of the way though, let's move on to this college lecture that Cyraxx did. This is the highlight of the video right here, y'all. This shit's pretty funny. Cyraxx usually rants, and that's kind of funny, but you know, it gets old. When he's ranting, he's angry, but this time he has that sort of sense of confidence. He wants to really convey his message and not seem angry. So it's interesting to watch him try to do that and make it so that he sounds like he's being intellectual. Like, there's no way that he can frame it in a way that it would make sense to a college class. So he basically just says that it's not going to make any sense. This is real life. You're not going to really be able to apply logic to it. It doesn't make sense. You apply logic to real life all the time. I don't think he knows what he's saying. He's just yapping on and on. It's pretty hilarious.
Hello everyone, my name is Chance. Your guys' Professor Nick. Obviously he's from, Boston University. Shout out to your professor. But him and my good friend here that you guys know asked me to make this video for you guys. And I'm not gonna hold any punches. And I hate to say it, but in this instance, there is no room for professionalism. There's only reality. I want you guys to know the reality of what really goes on. First of all, if you guys don't know, my name is Chance Wilkins, also more formally known as the YouTube handle, or under the YouTube handle Cyraxx. For the last 8 years, I have been the victim of cyberbullying, online trolling, and harassment, as well as hate and smear campaigns. My story begins in 2017 when I was hanging out with a good friend of mine, doing a podcast, hanging out, when this guy named Music Biz Marty showed up in chat one day. Don't know how he found the channel, but it is what it is. And he decided to try to play Mr. Smartass, for a lack of better terms. Excuse my French. But he decided to be smart and try to, make snarky comments, and that went on for a while. And I kind of ignored it, and me and my friend kind of ignored it. Until, that went on for about, I'd say 2-3 years. And then during the 4th year is when things got really, really bad. He decided to do something that would change the course of my life for the rest of my life. And it has. It's changed my life for the worst. He decided to try to isolate me from my friends and family in the most crude, cruel, awful way you can do it to a person. This man decided to do an illegal, and I do mean very illegal, sting against me. He decided to pull an illegal entrapment move. And what he did was he hired this other YouTuber by the name of Mass Troll Mafia, who is not very much liked on the internet at all. She's very hated for a lot of valid and very good reasons. And what he did with her, to me, is I would never wish it on anyone. I would never wish what I've been through on anyone. And what this man did was terrible. He hired her to entrap me illegally.
Sorry, y'all, I got the quote wrong. He didn't say there's no room for logic in reality. He said that there's no room for professionalism in reality, whatever that means. He's talking about the specific instance, but even then, that doesn't make any sense. Because I assume he's comparing this to like a problem you would face in a classroom. But the difference between that and what he's doing is that it wouldn't be called professionalism, it'd be called being civilized, which is what you didn't do. You weren't civilized, and that's why you are where you are. You decided to fight with the trolls and make a fool of yourself. So in that instance, there was room for professionalism. You could have just ignored Music Biz Marty and not fed into his trolling. But by becoming obsessed with him and what he does to you, you just fed into him trolling you, and it created a vicious cycle, and now you are where you are today. Y'all, imagine if somebody played this in your college class. Like if your professor showed up one day and was like, hey, you guys, I have this friend. He recruited this dude named Chance Wilkins. He's a guy who deals with cyberbullying. He's made a video for you guys so you guys can watch it and understand how cyberbullying works. And then he pops in the CD and this shit starts playing. Like, how would you react to that? Because I know I wouldn't be able to stop myself from busting out laughing once he started talking. It would be really hard to take this dude serious. Like, even not knowing all the shit that he's been through, once he gets into the story of how he's been cyberbullying and why they're cyberbullying him, I'd instantly know that this guy was a PDF file. Because what kind of excuse is that? You're saying that she said she was 18 and then changed her age? That's the thing that every PDF file says. You expect me to believe you after that stupid excuse? And then he said Marty decided to try to play Mr. Smartass and to excuse his French. I'm surprised he didn't go into the story about how Marty wanted to have a relationship with them, but he actually doesn't. Usually when Cyraxx tells people the story of how he met Music Biz Marty, he always includes a tidbit about how Marty wanted to have a relationship with them, but Cyraxx doesn't swing that way, so he decided not to have a relationship with Marty, even though we know Cyraxx has had a history with men before. You know, the whole Blind Billy situation comes to mind. It's crazy that Cyraxx has admitted on numerous occasions that he did what he did. If you look back at streams with Marty, he definitely admitted in the past that he was a PDF file, but now all of a sudden when he goes back to the case, he says that it was all wrong and that they trapped him into doing it. When in reality, he's just a PDF file who thought he was talking to a minor and he wasn't. And there's been a bunch of instances now that the leaks of his Discord and Facebook have come out that show Cyraxx has talked to actual minors in the past on these platforms. So he's doing it currently. It's not just something he's done in the past. So it doesn't even matter what he says about Mass Troll Mafia, what he says about how he was entrapped. Look at the text messages now, Cyraxx. Why aren't you trying to defend yourself from those text messages? The raw data. All this bullshit yapping and excuses makes me forget that this dude is giving a lecture. Like he's supposed to be talking to a college class and he's sitting here defending himself from PDF file allegations. That's wild, bro. Homie kind of went off script there, and he does this for a while. Like I said, he stops treating it as though he's talking to a class and almost as if he's just recording a regular video.
Which I later found out the photo she sent was actually of her daughter. And I went to the police about it. Nothing got done. And so once that incident happened, my whole life got turned upside down. And I mean, my whole world got turned upside down. From that point on, people would show up to my house, steal things off my family's porch and from around our house outside. They would, as stupid as it sounds, they would steal no trespassing signs off of our property. And that would also soon escalate into things like people showing up to my house claiming that they know me, Well, at one point, somebody had shot at me through my window back here. As you guys can see right here, my window, we got the curtain up for obvious reasons. They ended up shooting at me, and the bullet ended up missing me and going into my mattress. And the bullet is still there to this very day. Reason why it's still there is I called the police the very next day. They came out and basically said they weren't going to go after the person because they were probably long gone. Okay, understandable. Well, after that happened, Music Biz Marty began showing up to my house uninvited and unwelcomed multiple times. First time he left, second time he left after he was confronted by my family because my family was trying to protect me. The third time he showed up, he actually stayed at an Airbnb back here behind my house, which is like catty corner over here, like back this way. And I went over there to confront him calmly. Little did I know that that would lead to me getting beat up severely. And I mean very severely. I had walked away with a broken nose. I had to get it fixed. I had to get it popped back into place. I had a black eye, the whole 9 yards. The only reason why I survived that assault was because one of my neighbors saw what was going on and screamed at him to get off of me. If it wasn't for that neighbor, I probably would have ended up in the hospital. And soon after that, things would escalate when this guy named Tibbs TV tried to blackmail me and set me up again. What he did was he had one of his little friends pretend to be of age and then underage and then of age again. And I caught on to this very early on. And I told him, look, I know you're of age. Stop screwing around. What's going on? Like, why are you doing this? Well, Tibbs TV then decided to come in after that whole incident, and he decided to blackmail me. He threatened to help my parents sue me if I did not admit that I was a. So to protect myself and my family from having to go to court against my dad, I had to give him what he wanted because I figured if I gave him what he wanted, that he would leave me alone.
Somebody in the comments got to fill me in on the lore when it comes to Kate and Cyraxx's whole situation, because I know that he did text her. I know that he did think that she was a minor when he texted her, but what I don't know is the situation with her daughter. I don't know if he's just making that shit up or if that was really true. If it's true, it's pretty fucked up, right? But it's obvious that Cyraxx has done a lot of fucked up shit too, so for him to say that he went to the police after that is completely stupid, and I don't believe him at all. So obviously if there's solid evidence of that, it's pretty fucked up. But it seems like he's lying a lot throughout this entire call, so it's hard to believe him. But hey, that's just Cyraxx. It's in his nature to lie. When does Cyraxx not lie when he's telling a story? He also doesn't understand that by saying all these people believed what happened and went after him, he's showing how stupid he is. He's showing that everybody believes the evidence. You're saying tons of people came to your house, started stealing your stuff and harassing you after the evidence came out, and you expect a college class to be on your side. It sounds to me like you fucked up. You did some really stupid shit, and now you're dealing with the repercussions. That's all it sounds like. Like, if this was a false allegation, why are you still to this day getting allegations towards you? Why are you still to this day being harassed? It's because people don't like you for what you did. Not only that, it's because the evidence is solid, and that's why they don't like you, because you're a PDF file and it's proven. And then we wrap right back around to Cyraxx being an unreliable narrator. He talks about how somebody shot through his window, when I'm pretty sure somebody threw a rock through his window, like nobody shot anything at him. He claims that the bullet is still in the mattress and that the cops told him that the person is long gone, so there was no reason to try to investigate. There's no way the cops did that. They would have took that bullet for evidence. If someone attempted to unalive you, the police aren't gonna just shrug it off and move on. They're gonna investigate. Like, never in my life have I heard of a police department just deciding that somebody got away, so they're not gonna investigate. So he's for sure lying about multiple stuff throughout this whole video if he's lying about that, right? I know he's done it in the past, but it's crazy that he thinks he's talking to a college class and he still has the guts to do it. Like they aren't smart enough to understand that a police department doesn't do that. And then he tells the story of Tibbs TV, which is still one of the craziest stories that Cyraxx tells, because there's no way that he can excuse what he says. He tries to say that he was trying to protect his family and that he didn't want to have a legal battle with his father, but in reality, he admitted to being a PDF file because he's a PDF file. It's that simple. Why else would you do it? Even if somebody was threatening to sue me, I would never admit to that because I'm not a PDF file. It's that simple. In the next clip, the video just devolves into Cyraxx trying to get pity. He has a pity party and he talks about all the things that he lost due to the trolls. So he completely forgets the point of this whole video and just decides that he wants to make everybody feel bad for him. Like I said, he's treating it as if this is a YouTube audience he's talking to.
Little did I know that that was the wrong move. Because in my mind, I was just protecting my family and my friends. I was protecting myself from harm. I was protecting myself from an evil person because I didn't want to sit there and have to go to court against my own dad who, yes, he has since disowned me because of the trolling. But there's that part of me that still cared about him. There's that part of me that still loved my dad, that didn't want to fight against him, that didn't want to go to court against my own dad, because I love my dad. Even though he's an asshole, even though me and him do not speak, I still care about him. And I didn't want to have to deal with that. And I figured if I gave this man what he wanted, he would leave me alone. Even though I knew that it was blackmail, I did what I had to do to protect myself and my family. Little did I know that that would soon come around to make things worse. Over the past 2 years, since that incident, I've had several documentaries made about me. At one point, I had actually attempted to self-delete 2 different times because of these people. And yes, I did seek help and I got help and I'm doing much better. I have been relentlessly ridiculed. I have lost my job with the platform that I used to be a part of called Twitch. A lot of you guys might know it. Because of these people, I had lost all my sponsors. I had lost everything because of these people. This next part is one of the hardest parts for me to even talk about, even still, because it's so recent. Over the past couple of months, these people have done some very, very vile stuff beyond what I thought was possible. You see, back in October of last year, I began dating my high school sweetheart, Kira Grave, who, like I said, I've known since high school. And me and her dated, from October of last year up until last month. What these people did was they sent a troll to her to the place she was staying at and tricked her into thinking that this dude was a good dude and that I was a bad guy. She left me without saying a word or anything. And to this day, I still get relentlessly ridiculed. Because when I was with her, she has a son named Callum. And to me, because I was there during Callum's entire life, to me, he was my son. I helped to raise him as much as I could from my end. And that's one of the reasons why it hurts so much to talk about that, because when she left, not only did I lose the woman that I loved, I lost somebody that I saw as my son, as my own flesh and blood.
And then this guy sits there and acts as though he ever had a career at all, like it's the troll's fault that he failed at life. You never made any money on Twitch anyway, dude. That wasn't a career. You made like $100. It's nobody's fault but yours that you can't get a job. It's stupid that these lolcows sit here and blame the trolls for the fact that they can't get a job, for the fact that they posted something stupid on the internet or did something stupid and now have to deal with their actions. That's how it goes. If you're a PDF file and you want to diddle kids, people are going to harass you. That's it. That's your life now, Chance. You're never going to be able to get a job. That has nothing to do with what anybody else did to you. It has to do with your own actions. And then he goes back to talking about Kira, which makes me think that he probably was obsessed with her and said weird shit to her. I'm sure he did make some threats towards her because he just can't drop this girl. He keeps on talking about her. They were barely together for any amount of time. Like, this dude literally thinks that the kid was his. He says that he was there the kid's whole life. You weren't there at all. You were behind a screen, you weirdo. And then he calls her his high school sweetheart. It doesn't sound like she was your high school sweetheart if she left you so quick. I've never heard of a relationship where somebody says somebody is their high school sweetheart and then concludes the story with, yeah, she left me for a crackhead. This dude can't even look directly in the camera. That's how much he's lying. He hasn't looked directly in the camera one time. Now, when he's closing his eyes, you really know he's lying. But the way that he's not looking at the camera, that's also a pretty good dead giveaway. I've never once seen Cyraxx be genuine, except for the time when Marty was kicking his ass and he was screaming out for help. I think that's the only time he was being truthful, because he really needed someone to save him at that moment. Dude, the kid can't be your own flesh and blood if he isn't your kid. It's just some random kid on the other end of a screen. And the fact that you're so obsessed with him and you have the history you do, I mean, that's just weird as fuck, dude. There's no explaining that. You need to stop what you're doing. You keep on doing it and acting as though it's not weird, when in any context, being this obsessed with somebody's kid, even before she left you, even when you were in a relationship, is completely out of line. Either way, in any context, you're obsessed with this kid and it's fucking weird. So the next clip is the final clip we have for today's video. And this is when Cyraxx goes into his DDoS attacking that he's been facing. Now, this was before his PC was bricked, but he was still facing some technical difficulties. So you could see the start of what's to come. A little bit of subtle foreshadowing, some might say. Just watch.
But here recently, things have gotten ramped up quite a bit in a very, very bad way. These people have began DDoSing me. They have done several DDoS attacks to the point where I've had to reinstall Windows onto my computer at least 3 different times. These people have bricked 2 of my Xboxes over the last 8 years. I now no longer have an Xbox because of them, and it's been hard. To this day, I still get relentlessly attacked over and over and over. Like, if I go to make a brand new Facebook under a name that, you know, isn't even my name, they still find me. And it's the same thing with YouTube. I make a brand new channel, they somehow find it. These people have done everything from steal my music and go into the fake artist name, Chance Wilkins, which is my name with some of the letters mixed around. They have stolen and copywritten a lot of, if not all of my music that I've released over the last 8 years. These people have made it pretty much impossible for me to get a job because no one around here wants to hire me because of the things that they've done to me. And these people they've caused my family a lot of pain and heartache. Like I said, I've had friends that have walked away and abandoned me. I've had friends, you know, that I was close to for 17 plus years walk out of my life. I've had family members that I've had to disown because they decided to side with the troll community. Before I was being trolled really, really bad, before it got bad, I was doing stuff like this. This is actually a plaque from 2021 when I had released my first physical album, which is no longer available, sadly, because I ran out of copies. But that's the kind of stuff that I do. I have been told that I talk to kids when I don't. These people make up screenshots just to to fuel their narrative. And it kills me, because this is what I deal with every day. Being attacked relentlessly, being gone after. This has been my life for the last 8 years. And that's the reality of what I deal with. DDoS attacks daily and being harassed and attacked daily because of these evil people. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys did, please share my story with everyone. Hopefully you guys can team with your professor to try to put a stop to this, because I don't want to see any of you end up in the same position that I ended up. But, hopefully with your guys' help, hopefully that can happen. But again, thank you guys to, my friend who had me do this. I appreciate you, man. And again, to, your guys' professor, thank you so much, sir, for allowing me to share my story. I genuinely appreciate it 1,000%. I truly and genuinely appreciate your help. And with that being said, thank you guys. And as I always say to all my actual followers, stay humble, stay positive, keep being yourself, and keep chasing your dreams. See you guys later.
Bro, Cyraxx acts like it's so hard to find his accounts when he makes videos with his distinctive voice, with his face in them. He talks to people on these Facebook accounts and sends them voice messages. You think people aren't going to be able to find out it's you? I mean, come on, y'all. It's easy as fuck. You guys remember when Cyraxx decided to become a VTuber and made those like dumb channels where he was talking about how the trolls were fucking with him? He basically did the same shit that he would do on his normal channels, but just with the VTuber avatar. So how are you trying to hide yourself when you're telling stories about a troll named Music Biz Marty that ruined your life? You think it's gonna be that hard for people to read in between the lines and figure out that it's you, Cyraxx? I mean, come on, bro. Not everybody is as dense as you. These lolcows are ridiculous. Did you guys see Nova Online went out in a disguise, and his disguise was literally him just wearing sunglasses? What do these people think? Like, bro thinks that we can't see his face, his figure, hear his voice, defining features that would show that he's Nova Online. It's the same situation with Cyraxx. He thinks that he can just change his name on Facebook and nobody's gonna figure out it's him, even though he sends voice messages with his distinct voice. He sends people selfies and shit. Like, come on, bro, you gotta be kidding me. It sounded like he was gonna do a YouTube outro multiple times. This dude doesn't know how to communicate with real people. Like, this dude doesn't even know how to say thank you to the people who brought him on to present. He just decides to end it as though it's a YouTuber outro, right? He makes like this stupid call to action and tells all the people in the class to share his story and to help him fight back against the trolls. You think anybody's gonna believe you after you said what you said? Nobody's gonna believe your dumb excuses, dude. It's crazy that you actually think a college class would sit there and listen to your rambling, listen to you rant about getting trolled. Nobody's gonna spend their time doing that, and if they do, it's not gonna be because they're on your side. You're gonna be a case study, buddy. Anyway, folks, that's the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you watched all the way to the end, you're the best. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.